So here is my Heljan Class 05. This one started out as Cider Queen, which was one of the industrial variants. I believe that they might have done a yellow one of these at some point. Anyway, this was Cider Queen. I got this 59 quid, I think it was, at Hatton's, when they had a big sale on. And my one sentence review, this is a quality model. I think it's one of Heljan's best. I don't own lots of Heljan models, but this is the best of the two that I have. But this isn't a review, this is a little look at the modifications that I've done to it. So, general all-round weathering using my standard, which happens to the rolling stock behind it as well, and that is a grey wash initially of just black and white acrylic that's been mixed up by varying amounts. I've put that over it, wipe it away with a cotton bud, and then I use rail match weathered black to kind of tie those multiple tones together. I've applied NCB decals to this side, and actually it's also got a number 9 on the front there. Speaking of the front, just a general weathering, these wasp stripes have picked up really well, I think. Some grease splodges on the buffers. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how the front end looks. It looks worked, well used, but not like it's on the scrap line, and that's basically the intention with this model, is that it looks hard worked, as if it's one of the main colliery workers, but it's not waiting for the scrap heap. Don't believe any collieries ever actually had these, but a few industrial sites did, so that's kind of my reasoning for. The wasp stripes are a really nice touch on this. Don't have too many models with wasp stripes on them. So yeah, they take the weathering really well. I've also repainted one of the doors here into like a primer green, just for a bit of variation down the sides. Just mixes it up. That was just done with acrylic before the whole weathering process. Again, the weathering process, like I said before, was shared between a lot of my models, so there's consistency between it. I've also painted the roof black, just because I thought it looked a little bit naff with it being white, and there's no way that it lasts like that in most industrial service. If I remove the cab roof, the cab itself, we can see inside the cab where I've got two figures. One of these would be a shunter, and one of these would be a driver. Now, I've actually had a go in the cab of one of these, really quite loud, but so evident there's a lot of power under these things. Yeah. So one of these is like an old, I don't even know, I got given it at some point a big load of figures, so he's super glued in there, and he sort of lines up so it looks like he's looking out the window, and the other fella is a Model U figure that's missing multiple limbs, so I just kind of stuck him in, sat in the driver's seat, obviously being the driver. Now, I mentioned about the NCB decals on this side. I've only NCB'd one side, so I'll turn it around. Here's the other side of the model. Unbranded, as I don't want two sides to be NCB, it just frees me up. It means that this doesn't necessarily have to be a colliery shunting yard. It just frees me up a little bit, and it also means it looks quite cool on the club layout. We see on the top here, about here, is where the chimney was on the Bulmer's example. I removed it, and basically just filled it in and then painted it over with some different greens. I just thought it'd look like it's in a primed tone sort of thing. The other weathering on the top there, just basically around where I hypothesise grub would get, and yeah, just generally places that would be a little bit gross to touch. As I mentioned, cleaned-ish, but very much in use is the vibe that I want for this. That's reflected in the grills as well, and also the underframes, which I've weathered as well. Red rods are very cool, as I've mentioned in pretty much every video I think I've ever done, but toning them down really does help quite a lot. Speaking of toning down, wasp stripes on the back have also been toned down. You can actually see the figure we discussed before. Green's been distressed here with the greys previously discussed as well. There was a little printing thing, don't really know what it represented, but I thought rather than remove it completely, it would look loads better if it kind of looked like it was something that had been printed and got scrubbed away. So I did that with an etch pen. Didn't decide to get rid of it completely. It's just a little bit more visual interest. I don't really know how good it is in terms of how it comes out on camera, but it looks quite good in real life. As do the wasp stripes in my view. They're kind of echoed of what's gone on the front as well as the big grease splodges on the buffers. The idea of this is very much that it sits in yards like Shaw's Cross this one, and then does some trip workings as well, much like how the original 05s were designed. And I think I've kind of replicated that quite well through the weathering of this model. But if you disagree, the comment section is there for let you know. If you liked what I've done, let me know. If there's any way I can improve the modelling or the video, let us know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you in the next one, whatever that may be.